Second race on the card. Let's get our place accumulators on. Welcome to the Joburg Spring Challenge Day and get straight into the action. Of course, all of this action here in Johannesburg at Turffontein brought to you by Betway. This is the Betway Insure Bet maiden plate over 1450 metres. We're not going to be too long about it, so we'll get straight into the action where Alicia's Love, as a horse who's been in very good form, has had 2 solid runs to date, but according to the market has got a first timer to beat in the form of Give Me Another. JP van der Merwe has been riding particularly well for Michael de Kock. He's been using him. The combinations worked. And Give Me Another, obviously Darren Burrows will give us a bit more insight into its pedigree and who it's related to and all that sort of stuff. But the market, the word is out that this is the horse to beat. And I say that because it's been priced up as the 11-10 favourite on Friday, around about 10 o'clock Friday morning. Alicia's Love is the natural danger, priced up at 13-10 as the second favourite. So the two in the market are quite close. And then you got around 7-1 about number 2, One Religion. So Roy Magner's got the second and the third favourites in the race. Janice Dawson's been in good form as well. She's got number 6, Darling Harbour, who's priced up at around 14-1. But I suppose solid support already for this first timer for Mike de Kock, Darren.
Yes, definitely. And you know what? She doesn't have to be too good to win, but it's encouraging that there has been early market support. Her dam, Another Russia, was a Grade 1 winner, winning the Empress Club Stakes, second in the Horse Chestnut Stakes, top class filly. Her grand dam was obviously Mother Russia, who was top class as well. I think Another Russia's had one previous foal, which was Sharapova, who's not a bad filly herself. I think this filly could make a winning debut. She is drawn 8 out of 8. So obviously going to tuck in off the speed on debut. Alicia's Love has been disappointing because I labelled her in her last 2 starts. Last time out, she had every chance and still couldn't get the job done. Darling Harbours, I'm looking for improvement with. But I think 8, 1 and 6, the leading lights.
Okay, I'm sure there'll be more information forthcoming from the Michael de Kock stable about this first timer. In terms of Darren's Bipot, 1, 6 and 8. Those 3 are going into the play. Second leg of the Bipot is going to banker number 1, Mrs. Geriatrics. Then he's going 1, 2 and 3 by 1, 2, 4, 8, 9 and 13. He then bankers in the next banker number 13, Main Defender. And at the back he's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 9. Race number 3 is the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup fillies over 1450 metres. Sees the return of the Grade 1 winner, Mrs. Geriatrics. It's going to be very interesting to see how she comes back. We haven't seen her. When's the last time we saw Mrs. Geriatrics? The beginning of July. She's been given a well-deserved break and she comes to the inside track. I don't know if she's raced on the inside track before. I don't think that she has, but she handled Gravel very, very well, and so there's no reason to be concerned about that, I guess. A filly that's, loved by all. Richard Faris riding her for Sean Terry, and one would imagine that she is the horse to beat. Francine comes out of a Group 1 when she ran to Sandringham Summit. She was beaten 5 lengths on that occasion, Francine. We'll see how good she is. And of course, a horse like Ivy League, I'm going to talk to Darren in a moment. Ivy League's also stepping up now. She's won her last 2 starts, but, in handicap company. And we'll just see what she's all about, based obviously on the natural ratings that have been given. Mrs. Geriatrics does appear to be a one-horse race ratings base. She's priced up, Darren, just if you don't know, at 9-20, and it's 10-1 bar one. Francine is 10-1. Ivy League number 5 is currently trading at around 12-1, and the other one from, Mike de Kock's got White Pearl in here, and that's trading at 12-1. You make it a one-horse race?
Yes, definitely. One-horse race for me, Clyde. She's got the draw in her favour. I can see her running fresh after the break. It's going to be a quick 1450 on the inside track. He can just slot her in, place her where he wants to, and she's got an electrifying turn of foot. So it would be nice to see Mrs. Geriatrics notch up another victory as a 3-year-old. Francine is an interesting runner because she ran against the Colts last time out. and she ran a good fourth. I think the mile was stretching her a little bit. So the 1450 is going to be ideal. She is drawn deep out at 12. So that's a concern. So 1 to beat 2, I don't see anything getting involved other than that.
Okay. Let's take a look at what we're doing in the place accumulator. Banker 1 by Banker 1 by 1, 2, 8, 9, and 13. By Banker 13 by 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. By 1, 2, 4, and 5. By 5, 6, and 9. It's a 360 Rand place accumulator. Well, the stakes have also been boosted here in Gauteng. That's been the recent announcement as we have a look at our pick 6 race number 4, the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup, and it's for colts and geldings over 1450 meters. It's good to see Gimme Another Chance come back to Johannesburg. We last saw Gimme Another Chance out in KwaZulu-Natal when running to the very, very good Sandringham Summit. Was only beaten half a length, and based on that sort of performance, you've got to say that Gimme Another Chance is certainly one of the best around. He runs off a 108, that's his current rating. Guy Gibson's off a 105, and the third highest is Fire and Flames, who currently runs off a 104. What does it mean from a market perspective? Well, on 10 o'clock, they had Mike de Kock's horse at even money. The JP's riding, number 1 on the card, Darren. Roy Magnus 2, Guy Gibson is a 28 to 10 second choice. And then Heather Adamson, we saw a bold run from this horse Biofarmer the other day, but is in 14s or double figures. In fact, they're betting double figures quite a number of other horses, bar those two. I do, however, think that Fire and Flames might have a bit of a squeak in terms of running in exactas and trifectas. I wouldn't leave it out altogether. But is this all about Mike de Kock's horse? Give me another chance, Darren.
Clyde, I like him a lot. He's a course and distance winner, which helps a lot. He went to the front 3 runs back. He trotted away from them by 5 lengths. His penultimate start was a good win in the gate crasher. And last time out, he looked a winner with 200 to go. And he got outrun by Sandringham Summit, who came out to win a Group 1 after that. So from a 7 draw, he's going to push forward, settle maybe first or second or third, and he'll give that winning kick the final 300 meters. Dangers, Guy Gibson. He ran a length behind Gimme Another Chance last time out behind Sandringham Summit. So there's not much between them, and he's going to be the immediate danger. Fire and Flames is my third choice.
Okay, so it does appear to be pointing to Gimme Another Chance. JP van der Merwe will be riding this guy for the very, very first time. Muzieni has ridden Guy Gibson before. Right, so in Darren's pick 6, he's bankering the 1 by field, by banker the 13 on the card. In the third leg of the pick 6, and you guys have heard about main defender already, by horses. And that's what we would like to spend, or a percentage thereof. It's entirely up to you. Don't get left behind with this pick 6. Remember, it's a carryover pick 6, and we're expecting about 6 million Rand pool. On to jackpot time now, race number 5. Let's take a look at what we're doing in this event. And this particular race is the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge Grade 2 over 1450 meters. Attracted a very strong field. Interesting horses that are going to line up here, and the highest being rated 119, a horse like Humdinger. And competitive race, I thought, because there would be a few with chances here. Market-wise, let me give you an idea as to what they're betting. Well, Feather Boa, number 8 on the card, is top of the boards, and that's priced up at 3 to 1. Number 1, Humdinger, is trading at 5 to 1. Number 9, Captain Peg, is the third choice at 6 to 1. 2, Give Me a Shot, is trading 8 to 1. And number 11, Mrs. Browning, it must have some sort of claim, I think, yeah, is trading at 8 to 1. And then you've got 12 to 1 and better about the others. There are a number of trainers or stables in this particular race that I have, one has to take a note of in terms of being in form. There are a handful of yards that are having a very, very good run at the moment. And obviously you have to pay attention to, and you need ultimately to include. Darren Burrows has been doing the studying for the race, for the Betway Joburg Spring Fillies and Mares Challenge. So, Darren, let's talk about it. At this point in time, we haven't had any a full field, so nothing's been taken out. Field of 13. And in your opinion, is Feather Boa the horse to beat?
She is the horse to beat, but she is having a seasonal reappearance, and we don't know how ready she is for the race. So if you look at that Garden Province Stakes run, she got beat 6 lengths by Princess Keller. She had Humdinger 3.5 lengths in front of her, and Gimme a Shot was 6 lengths off as well. So 1, 2, and 8 all come out of the Garden Province Stakes, and they could all be right there at the finish. Now you got Captain Peg, the stablemate to Feather Boa. She's had a comeback run this season, and she won against the Colts. So fitness is on her side. You've got Just Be Lacquer. Now she's only 3-year-old in the race. She receives 7.5 kilos from the rest of the field from a one draw. She comes out of that Outlaw King form line where we've seen multiple winners already. She's 1-2 from 3. So with that type of weight, she could get involved. It is a very tricky race. I put the field in the pick 6, but those are my leading lights.
Yeah, it's an interesting race with that horse Just Be Lacquer in there because of the Ready to Charge and Tail of the Comet coming from the form line you're referring to. I wonder if Mrs. Browning is, not without a chance in a race like this going over the distance. I would imagine she must have some sort of chance here. And the last time we saw Feather Boa on the inside track, if I recall correctly, she won. Well, that's the jackpot. Those are the numbers to take. Okay, move on to race number 6. Now it's time to look at the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge. We look at the boys as to what they're going to do in a lineup like this over 1450 meters. Of course, it's a grade 2 event. And, interesting because William Robertson's in here, Anfield's Rocket is in here. There are a few that have certainly got winning claims in a race like this. Main Defender's the talk of the town at the moment for the Tony Peters stable. Dave the King, is that going to the front for Mike de Kock to set the pace and run them off their feet? Could be a question. Sean Terry's got Thunderstruck in here. We've seen Bingwa, how good he is. He races for Johan Janssen van Vieren. I've mentioned Anfield's Rocket already for Grant Maroon. Do the Sages have a chance with Quantum Theory? Do the Azzies have a chance with Ready to Charge? Well, we've mentioned William Robertson. I don't know. It's quite challenging, but they're very bullish as far as I understand it, with regards to Main Defender, who Darren has priced up as the 3-1 favourite. Maybe we should start with Main Defender and let's talk about this horse. Hasn't run that often. Has only had the 4 starts, of which Main Defender has won 3 out of the 4, and bumped again, as we know, a very, very good horse in Sandringham Summit. Do you make that the right one?
Well, Clyde, I've bankered this horse in everything. Reason why, the 3-year-olds come in here so well in. We saw Mount Pleasant, I think it was a couple of years ago, where he received so much weight and they gave him such a high merit rating, a ridiculous race rating of like 127. And I think he won, or he never won again since then. Main Defender, now he receives, 7 to 9 kilos from the older horses. He's top class. He's won his first 3 starts comfortably, and last time out second in a grade 1 behind a superstar in Sandringham Summit. Receiving that type of weight from a good draw, I make him a banker.
Okay, so there it is. That wraps up the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge from a weighted to win perspective in terms of the lineup and the weight received and all things pointing towards one horse in a race like this, and that's number 13, Main Defender, who on the Friday was priced up at 3-1. So this is a Pinnacle Stakes, so you just got to watch best weighted horses in a race like this, give you an idea. Betway Aviator Pinnacle Stakes, it's over 1,000 metres, so they'll go very quickly, I'm sure of it. Only 8 runners in the race now that number 6, Tread Swiftly, has been taken out. Let's take a look at what the market indicates, what it did on the Friday anyway. Open 7-2 the field. They had this was 2 Sheldon top of the boards at 7-2, 9 Moonshining through at 4-1. So Johan Janssen van Vieren quite a strong hand. Tony Peters got the 3 Cold Fact, who's in the market trading at 5-1. And the other in here, number 5, Mover and Shaker. Now, Fabian Haber's been having a very good run. They must be very delighted with what's been happening with them. And they're at 5-1 at the moment. Mike de Kock and JP team up here. Number 7 on the card, Ipiku. And then you've got number 8, Chivana, who's trading currently at around 7s. I see there are more singles here. Let me just tell you who they are. Mercantor, would that have a chance in a lineup like this? Priced up 8-1, and then it's 12-1 and better the rest. So what do we look for here now, Darren? We're going to look for what? Best weighted horse in the race. Market-wise, suggesting anything's possible because they bet 7-2 the whole field. What's your first choice?
Clyde, this race is so tricky. I put the field in this race because I thought it's so difficult to dissect the form. You've got Sheldon, Cold Fact, Top Filly, Mover and Shaker. Ipiko comes in here well weighted. Mercantor, Danilo Danilovic, Shavana returning after a break. But my first choice has to be Moonshining Through. She comes in here best weighted with only 50.5 kilos and a draw, Muzieni. I thought she's a good place bet. By no means a good thing to have a straight strike, but I do see her being in the first 3.
Okay. Moonshining Through. Well, we did see her finish in front of Ozenko the other day, and we saw Ozenko come out and win. So maybe a place bet in this race, race 7, number 9, Moonshining Through.